Hello and welcome to the ThePaintBar channel. My name is Jackie and today I'm going to teach you how to make a sunset beach scene. So here are a few of the items that you're going to need to make your painting. Number one is a canvas. So you don't have to use a canvas. I recommend it. It works really well with paint. You can also use a wooden panel or a piece of cardboard. I also have an easel and this is what I'm going to be resting my canvas on. This is something else that you don't need. It definitely makes your painting easier. However, it's not necessary at all. Then you have paper towel. Any paper towel will do. Paper towel is very important because as you're using your brushes get really dirty and sometimes they get really wet and you need to wipe them off. That's why you use paper towel. Then we have a palette, and the palette is just a regular paper plate, nothing fancy. And here are a few of the colors you're gonna need for this painting. We have white, blue, phthalo blue to be specific, violet, red, fluorescent purple, deep yellow, brown, and black. All right, and then we have a few paint brushes. In my jar currently is a baby brush, so a little itty bitty brush. This is for all your details. And then a larger brush for the bigger brush strokes like the sky and the water. And then I have a few brushes on hand just in case we need a few different sizes. So that's it, let's get painting. All right, let's begin. So to start, I'm gonna take out one of my bigger brushes. So it's currently in my water. I'm gonna tap it off a few times, wipe it off, use my paper towel. And the first line I'm gonna make is a line with yellow. So I'm gonna use my deep yellow, just give a little dab on my brush. And I'm gonna come down about halfway down my canvas. And from there, I'm gonna make a little mark and then extend that mark all the way across. All right, now from this line all the way up, that's gonna be our sky. And now I'm gonna make another line to divide where the water and the sand are gonna be. So from the line we just made, I'm gonna come down about halfway and I'm gonna make one more line like that. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off by painting my sky. So I'm gonna make it a sunset, which means colors are gonna be blending, which is always a little more challenging, but I'm gonna teach you how to do it. So using your medium brush, you're gonna dip it into your yellow and your white. Now, when you're blending, you always wanna make sure you have a lot of white on hand because it really helps the blending process. So I'm gonna start from that middle line and I have a bunch of paint on my brush and I'm gonna start going back and forth and back and forth. And while I'm painting, I wanna remember to come around on the sides as well. And you wanna use enough paint that you don't see the white canvas coming through. So now we have our yellow and white down. So I'm gonna start to add in a little bit of the red. So I'm gonna take my brush. Now red is such a powerful color, you really don't need a lot of it. So I'm just gonna take an itty bitty dab of my red. Then I'm gonna take another little scoop of my yellow and another little scoop of my white. I'm gonna start right above what we just painted and I'm gonna go up about halfway up our remaining space. So I'm gonna make a little line for myself as a guideline. And then I'm just gonna come down and paint some more. And I'm gonna end up painting right on top of what I had previously painted. All right, so the trick here is taking that little bit of red, yellow, and white, and actually coming down just a little bit into our yellow. And see how nicely the colors are starting to blend, but you really have to use a lot of paint for that to happen. All right, now, most of my yellow has worn off, so I'm gonna start to add a little bit of my purple. If you notice you have a lot of yellow on your brush, you wanna make sure you wash your brush off. Otherwise, I let everything just blend on my canvas. So now, I'm gonna take my brush and I'm gonna dip it into my purple, a little bit of my red and some white, and because it's my favorite, I'm gonna add a little bit of the fluorescent purple. However, this is definitely not a necessary color, I just happen to love it. All right, now we're gonna go over from the top here. This is actually called a gradation when you go from dark to light. And I'm gonna come right down into that reddish area. That's the trick to making a successful gradient and successful sunset. Can't forget to paint the top. All right, there is your sky. Let's move on to the water. I'm gonna take the same brush, dip it into my cup, and I'm just gonna scrub around the bottom of my cup, almost like write your name at the bottom of the cup with your brush. Okay, now tap the brush off, wipe it on your paper. And now to fill in this middle section here, I'm gonna use my blue and some purple and some white. All right, now the sun over here is gonna be reflecting on the water. So the part closest to the sky is gonna be a little bit lighter, and then as it goes down, it's gonna get a little bit darker. So start off using my blue and some white. And I'm gonna go right up to my sunset skyline. I'm gonna go and make a line right on top of the yellow. Okay, you don't wanna have any white canvas in between your water and your sky. And then I'm gonna, again, wrap it around each side. And I'm gonna start filling it in. And you wanna use a nice big scoop of the white, so it looks like it has a lot of light shining down on it. And as you start to lower down, you wanna use purple and blue. You don't need to wash your white off your brush. Let it mix in and let everything just blend right on the canvas. Ta-da! There's your water. Now it's time to add the sand. So to make that sandy color at the bottom, I'm gonna use a combination of two colors here. I'm gonna use the deep yellow that we used for the sky, and I'm also gonna use a little bit of brown, and then I'm also using my white. I'm a big fan of all my colors just blending right on the canvas, so I'm just gonna go for it. I'm not gonna go up to that blue until the very end because I don't want my blue to mix in with my sand, otherwise we're gonna get some green looking sand. All right, now put this brush in the water. We're pretty much done with our sunset here. The last thing that we have to add is a sun and a little reflection. So to do that, I'm gonna use the baby brush. So take out that little itty bitty brush that you have. All right, and I'm gonna take this brush, we're gonna make a sun. I'm gonna make my sun out of a little bit of my white and just a tiny bit of my yellow. So mostly white, tiny bit of the yellow. And I'm gonna put it just a little bit off center because if you make a circle right in the center of your canvas, your eye is gonna go directly to that center, okay? So I'm just gonna go to the side a little bit. And the last thing is that we're gonna add a reflection. So I'm just gonna take my brush, I kind of twist it off on my paper towel just to get the excess paint off of it. It's okay that there's yellow because we're gonna use some for the reflection. Dip it into my white paint, and then coming directly below my sun, I'm gonna make a few little lines that go from bigger to smaller, like this. And voila, you have a sunset. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had as much fun painting as I did. If you want to take this painting to the next level and learn how to make some seashells and foam, make sure you click on the link above. Subscribe to our channel, like this video, and comment letting us know what you want us to teach you next. And we want to see your gorgeous work, so make sure you take an artsy pic and use the hashtag TPBArtsy, tag ThePaintBar, and follow us on social media. The links are down below. Bye! Thanks for painting!